Well, I see that we're up on YouTube. That's a good thing. I see we're up on Facebook. But I don't know what that thing is going across my face. Test RMTA stream powered by something. Oh, I'm going to try that. Well, we'll have to live with that until we find out how to fix it. There we are. Well, good morning. I'm sorry about whatever that test thing is across the screen. Something, apparently, our provider has done something, and I don't know anything about it. But we'll live with it and get through it. But we're glad you're here. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. We're with Coffee with Casper. We're about to get going here. Casper, where'd you go? Let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. And as I say, I don't know why that's going across the screen. We're up on YouTube. We're up on Facebook. Coffee with Casper is live. Candace is here. Pam is here. Lorraine is here. Nice to see you guys. Good morning, good morning. We got about a minute to go. We're going to gong ourselves in, maybe half a minute. Hope you have your beverage of choice. You're hanging out. We're in a fresh stream. I hope you're finding it. Let me know where you are, where you're checking in from. And there's 8:30. Let's gong ourselves in. We've been gone a few weeks. We're looking forward to sharing just these 20 minutes together. So we're going to take a big deep breath in. We're going to let out the sound ah, ah, and relax the shoulders. Big deep breath in. Ah. And the gong is just to symbolize us, to remind us that we are creating a tone. That tone is going into the law of life, the law of the circle, and is returning back to us as the multi-level dimensions of our experience. We have control over that tone, the strength of the vibration, what it does, where it's hanging out, and we can create all good. Good morning, Arlen. Nice to see you this morning from the Dana Point zone. We love San Clemente. Nice area. Nice part of the world in Southern California down there. Anyway, we're glad to see you. We're glad you're here. One more deep breath in. Let the energy come into our heart center and just be present for this very moment. Well, I've been gone for a few weeks. We are beginning now our 5th year of broadcasting Coffee with Casper. Not sure exactly what month we started. We might be a couple heads, but we've been doing more than 4 3/4 years. And this was the longest. Good morning, Becky from South Carolina. Nice to see you. This is the longest time that I've taken off, which was really based on family plans and the unfoldment of our summer. We are blessed, my wife and I, to have... Good morning, Missy Grant from North Carolina. The Carolinas are checking in. Pam is here, and from Napa Valley, and Candace from the desert out there in Palm Desert Zone. We're glad you're all here, and thank you all for joining us, and thank you for sharing your light in the world. So one of the things that I had happen, had the opportunity to have happen, is I spent a lot of time on boats. My boat, different kinds of boats, sharing boats. And hey, from Arizona, Reg, nice to see you this morning. And also in that time, we had a lot of plans. Some of those plans worked out exactly even better than we would have guessed, and some took a turn and adjusted. And we talked about that several weeks ago, that it's good to make plans and it's good to be flexible. But it's also really good to establish the idea that whatever is happening is for the highest good of you, and therefore everybody who's touched by the arena of your experience. So it's not so much as the things that are happening or the variations at our plans. It's good to make plans. It's good to be flexible. But it's how we are coping with the changes that we didn't expect? What is our attitude? What is our mindset in the changes we didn't expect? Well, during these 3 weeks, 4 weeks that I've been off the air, off the streaming zone, I had a lot of time because of changes in the folks around me, spirit, mind, and body. Things sometimes change differently. I ended up with quite a bit of time by myself. And that's not a bad thing. It's good if you like being in your own company. And if you don't, it's probably a good thing to start working on that. But I like being in my own company, and I like taking the time to see what's going on beyond the surface thoughts that keep recirculating, what we call the monkey mind, that repeats itself over and over again. And one of the things that we can be aware of, mindful of on this water planet, 2/3 of the planet is water, is that at every coastal town, whether it's a town or a city, people live on the water all around the world. And wherever they're living on the water, there are boats. And this is an interesting thing. I started in my ministry when I was 30, so I've been doing it now for 35 some odd years. I was ordained when I was 33. And what I've always been told when I was young, people would say to me, wow, you have so much spiritual wisdom. Don't we wish more young people would turn to their spiritual nature? Well, you got to remember that we are already 100% spiritual. We came from the light. We put on a coat of skins, and we'll return to the light. Sometimes the gurus are asked, well, who am I then if I am not just the body? Sometimes when we close our eyes and recognize that that person inside, behind what you physically see, is you. And to really get to know that I am presence is about communion. Brother Lawrence wrote that book a long time ago called Practicing the Presence. Joel Goldsmith also wrote a book called Practicing the Presence. And basically this is becoming aware that I am an immortal spiritual being, superior to my mind, to my body, and to my experience, and to begin to dwell in communion with that I am presence, that I am, that you are, that I am, that we are. Hey, Paul from Colorado, nice to see you this morning. And it is through that communion that my friend Paul Fagan is out in the Colorado mountains right now, and I know he draws such strength from communing in nature like that. And that's how we do our communing, by knowing that we are a presence and that presence is with us all the time, and to begin to share, to practice communing, sharing your life in that presence. But now let's go back to this thing about boats. Every boat, no matter what kind of boat it is, sailboat, powerboat, doesn't matter, rowboat, canoe boat, any kind of boat, boats make a wake. And a wake is simply the vibration that boat makes going through the water, and then that moves the waves behind the boat in what's called a wake, and those wakes go out. And they go out from the boat, and that's why they have speed limits in harbors, because if you're not mindful of how fast you're going in a harbor, you might be creating a big wake, and that big wake could be causing boats that are all lined up and moored or parked or docked to bang into each other or to bang into the docks. So we need to be mindful of the kind of wake that we are making, and where we are making a big wake and where we're making a small wake, and be always aware that those waves are going out from us. And you and I are like that. We're a vessel. We're a vessel contained in this coat of skins, as it's called, right? We have been incarnate, made flesh in this coat of skins, and we're a vessel moving in the cosmos. And there is a vibration coming out from us, and that vibration is making a wake. I have shared with you often the quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson about circles. The extent to which the larger circles will go depends on the force or the truth of the individual soul. So what we're doing with our vibration, which means what we're doing with our thoughts and our attitudes is very definitely determining how big the wake is that we're making, how beneficial that wake is. Good morning, aloha from Kauai, Reverend Patrick. Nice to see you this morning. And so when we know that we came from the light, we put on a coat of skins, we're in this vessel called our humanness, right? We've never left our divineness. We are one with our divineness even in the presence of our humanness. And in the humanness, there is the field of probabilities, meaning that I am creating a vibration, you are creating a vibration, we are creating a vibration. Circle upon circle, neighborhoods are creating vibrations, states are creating vibration, nations are creating vibrations, groups are creating vibrations, and all of those waves are moving all of the time, affecting what we're doing on our journey. So here's what I have done in the silence and in the very beautiful movement of the boats that I've had the pleasure to be on, is to remember that how I'm floating on that boat, how I'm using the vibrations of that boat, how I am creating the vibrations of the boat that is my very being, my vessel in expression, moving through this dimension, right? That we decide that we came from the light, we're going to make a wave, and that wave is going to go out for as long as it goes out. Sometimes a lifetime, sometimes more than a lifetime. Some of us have lost friends in this lifetime, and we can still feel their vibration, their waves. We miss them and we care for them. We send them love. We may have lost our family, our parents, and we've become the senior people. And nonetheless, we still feel their wave. They feel our waves, and those waves go out in beyond time and space. They continue to go. So what you're going to be at the end of your life is somebody who has made a vibration in the human condition, a vibration in the earth condition, and that vibration is going to ring out according to the force of our own soul, which really means according to the force of how deeply you seek to be a beneficial presence. You say, oh, to be a beneficial presence, isn't that nice? Well, it's demanding to be a beneficial presence because sometimes things are calm. They're normal. You're doing your grocery shopping, you're chopping wood, you're carrying water, you're doing laundry, you're encountering people, service people who are helping you. Hey, good morning, Michael. You're encountering souls along the way, and your vibration is always involved in that. So, on this one boat that I was on, there were about 100 other people on the boat, along with the crew members. And so as soon as you left your room, you were encountering people. And they would be saying good morning or trying to greet you. And how are you, in that very simple thing of being surrounded by people, how are you waking up every morning? And what is the vibration you're carrying into the field? What is the wake that you are making by being a presence on that vessel? What is the wake that you are making as being a vessel that's making a wake in the human condition? And have you set your mind? Well, young people should be spiritual. Well, maybe they are in the way that they're understanding it, but a lot of young people, my children are young adults, now getting closer to middle-aged adults, and they're making a beautiful vibration with their family. And sometimes people get upset, and sometimes people get angry, and they're not being harmonious, and those vibrations are going out. And then we have to remember, we are the one who is the force that is determining the vibration that is coming from ourselves. Now, if you would like that vibration to be better, good morning, Reverend Angelica Jane from Eureka. Boy, you guys are all checking in. We're so glad you're here this morning. And we're just talking about remembering that I am an immortal spiritual being and that I am creating a wake, and that my thoughts and attitudes and my vibration is always ringing out from me. There's a wake that I am making all of the time. And as we mature and as we begin to recognize, I'm only going to be here making this wake for one lifetime, as Joel Goldsmith called the parentheses in eternity. eternity. Those parentheses will move. This is one group. I came from the light. I'll return to the light. I'll go forward in the light as an expression of consciousness of the immortal self that I am. The I am that I am will always be making awake in the vibration of the dimension that I am participating in. And when we realize that, then we begin to realize, you know what? I want to make a vibration that is filled with love, that attracts joy, that brings happiness, that empowers other people, that honors and appreciates those around me. It's very simple to be an awakened spiritual master on the planet. It's not easy, but it's simple. What are you doing with your vibration today? What are you doing with your attitude of gratitude today? What are you doing with the capacity you have to bring more light in the world and to awaken humanity to what it is to live in a higher dimension of consciousness, to draw forth the belonging to God, to draw forth the belonging to the cosmos, to draw forth that the gift of the I am that I am is the gift of the Atman, the Buddha, the Christ, the High Self, the universal gift of the One forever begetting itself in me now. The only begotten, Meister Eckhart said, the only begotten is forever begetting itself in me now. What if I begin to look at the marvel of who and what I am? And what if I decide that my only task is to bring the highest vibration and therefore moving through the cosmos, creating the best wake that I can create, one that rocks and gently covers and nurtures and reminds each and every one that we are making waves together and that we can make waves of peace and waves of love and waves of joy and waves of unity and waves of communion by who we are in the world today, by simply being the best me that I can be. Hi, Marianne. Nice to see you this morning. This is ours to do. So maybe don't worry so much about the events of the world. Don't worry so much about what other boats are doing. Be mindful that you are indeed at the helm of your own ship, that you get to choose how you act and how you react. And you get to choose whether you wake up and greet the day and whether you wake up and greet the divine, whether you notice the goodness that's all around you all the time, whether you breathe it in, whether you are adjusting to change circumstance, because my plan may not have worked out exactly as I thought, but things are always working toward the greater good, particularly if my only intention is to bring forth the greater good. And wherever I fall short, and we will fall short, the Olympics just happened. How many times do we see that we fall short? We don't hit the mark that we meant. And it's not hitting it. It's that knowing that we can get up and do it again. We can get up and do it again. We can reframe. We can change. We can adjust. We can grow. And we can decide that I will be a beneficial presence in the world. So it's good to make plans. It's not good to outline and insist everything goes your way every second, or the way you thought it was going to go, because that's why we learn this wonderful line, this or something better. If it isn't the way I thought it was, maybe something's trying to reveal itself at a higher level than I saw before. This or something better. So other people are dealing with mind and body and experience, and they have to adjust and make their own adjustments. Sometimes they're in your space and you're sharing space together, and then you have to adjust. Nobody's doing anything wrong. Everybody's sooner or later going to remember that they came from the light. They came with an intention to bring more light. They came with an intention to live in a higher order of being. They came with the intention to bring their enlightenment into the world and help other people lighten up, right? And that we can do that in a way that's unique to our own character, in a way that expresses who you are in the world, in a way that causes you to remember, I seek and I came to be a beneficial presence. And then my problems will begin to be solved, coming from this higher order. Good and more good can be mine. There's no limit to that good. Everywhere I look, I see it, I feel it, it crowds against me, it flows through me, it multiplies itself around me, because I've set the intention that I can be a beneficial presence in the world. Not for 1 decade, not for 2 decades, not for a Sunday sermon, not for I was reading a positive book, but as a way of being. I choose to be a beneficial presence in the world. There's the Casper dog. There's the Casper dog. We don't want to mock over your mug, big boy. So we're in this together. We're all choosing to be a beneficial presence in the world. We're all choosing how we're going to be, how we're going to live, how we're going to vibrate, and how we're going to invite the divine to heal, uplift, and solve all of our challenges and bring us back to a place where we can focus on creating the wake of being a vessel moving in expression, bringing good and more good into the world in our unique way. Doesn't need standing ovations, doesn't need acclaim. It may get that, but it's there because it's who you want to be in the world. It's what I want to bring to life. More and more love, more and more light, more and more truth, that I may learn to handle these higher vibrations and indeed be a higher vibration in the world. Who you are is something special. We're gathered here with Coffee with Casper to remind ourselves who and what we are. So until we meet again, we invite you to go in the light, as the light, and with the light. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you on your way. I'm Harry Morgan Moses. This is Casper, and we'll be back next week. We'll see you on Tuesday. We'll see you whatever day you happen to see the video. We'll share with you the vibration of what it is to be a human being fully alive. Ah, yes. The glory of God is a human being fully alive. I celebrate your aliveness. I celebrate you. And we'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper.